Hey guys, this is Pojo. We are starting up our second mission. I have already set up our troops and I'll explain my decisions as we go into it. The basic idea here is that we have fast-forwarded the geoscape forward 11 hours so that we can get 3 of our best troops available for this mission. The reason for that is because this is a heavy abduction mission, so we're expecting to face probably 5 pods of sectoids, and that's going to be a little much for the rookies to handle. The other reason is that we want to train these specs up to Corporal as fast as humanly possible, because we're a little slow on beam weapons with this research route, which means that our best option for essentially like surviving in month 2 before we get beam weapons is to get the officer training school up really fast and get that squad side upgrade. So because of that, we really want to get some of these specs up to Corporal. We want to favor these guys pretty heavily in addition to training up new rookies to specs. And so that's going to be the basic plan. We've made a couple of interesting options. I was going to show this in the mission screen, but had a slight issue with my microphone, so figured that would be figured if you couldn't hear me, that wouldn't be such a good deal. In any case, here we go. All right. So this mission is the terror site, and we actually started out in a pretty decent spot. Usually you have to deal with a lot of nasty, horrible things trying to come in from the other side of this map. But over here there's a lot of hard cover, there's some neat flanking options, there's some places you can breach, big open spots. We really have to decide where we want to go first, but I think it should be pretty straightforward. Looks like these loading docks are already open, so that's going to be a thing. We've given our scout a marksman rifle and a laser sight, so we're going to be trying something a little different with that scout. Do we want to try to set up for a door breach, or do we want to go right is the question. I believe... Oh, we have access to this roof. It's a terrible roof, but we could go up there if we chose to. Honestly, I'm not seeing too much exciting on this side, but we do want to at least start pushing in this direction so that we can figure out where the meld is. And can we see any canisters right now? That's the other thing that we really need to check for. Looks like nothing showing up just yet. Meld canisters can appear pretty much anywhere in Beta 14, just because the meld containers are randomized, so they'll show up even on Terra missions. And there should be meld on pretty much every map. Still, we got atrociously lucky last time with the meld, so you might not expect to see as much this time around. Depending on how you feel about streaks. Okay. Okay. Wait, did I just open that door? I must have clicked on it by accident. Well, I'm very glad that that didn't trigger anything. Alright. That's fine. I'm just going to get everybody into this half cover so that we'll be ready to move into hard cover next turn. You especially. Okay. So this is going to be pretty straightforward. Steady up. Overwatch, Overwatch. Etc, etc. Alright, so this building is pretty tricky. We don't really want to go into it too far. At least not yet. The first thing we want to do is set up our gunner and our sniper in hardcover positions. We're just going to move along the right side and clear that area out before we breach in from the right. We'll leave that scout there for now. No, we won't. That's actually going to be a bad idea. We want to keep people all together and ready to move. And generally as concealed as we can get them. Okay. It's pretty straightforward.
I've got my eye.
This should be our first meld ping. No sign of it yet. It may not be close. Okay, here we go. So the meld pings every 2 turns, and now we know that it's on the right side, probably right there. Okay. So that means that we really want to push forward for that as fast as possible. What's the best way to go about that? Sniper's not going to be a lot of use by this tank. We actually need to have her forward even more. I really doubt that there's going to be aliens on that roof, so something we might actually consider is going up, but the problem with that is that of course we can see down, which isn't really what we want to see. So since we've already moved the sniper up, let's get along this side. Okay, and we're looking okay here. That's good to know. Heavy's just going to move forward so the scout can get forward. And we're not going to go too aggressive this turn. As much as I'd really like to do that, I just don't trust that there isn't going to be sectoids in that particular section. How many extra tiles would this trigger? Could be aliens back there. Seems unlikely, but we're out of moves right now, so slow and steady. No point in getting too aggressive. Just get everyone forward. Further forward if possible. Okay. And then we will just steady up and march. And that was another meld container indicator off in this direction, which means we're probably going to want to move pretty quickly along these lines. Okay. So first things first, let's get out to here. We won't enter into cover. I'm just going to go ahead and trigger. Oh, that was beautiful. So, oh, that worked out splendidly for us. Okay. So let's just go ahead and get to the killing part. I'm an assault trooper who needs to move up here. This is going to be our furthest forward. Poor sectoids didn't have anywhere to go. They were all just hiding behind that tank. Oh, that's the best pod activation I've ever had. Oh no. Seem to be just clicking on doors by accident today. That's really not good. But we'll live. Life's good. Okay, so first things first. The question is, can we move this guy up on this turn? And the answer is no. So, what we really need to do here is get our scout. I really don't want to move to that corner, but that's the only way that we're actually going to get the scout to see anything. So let's do it.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Scout. Okay. First things first, we kill this guy.
I'm about to start keeping score.
Then we get the scout forward to here. He doesn't trigger any new aliens, because life is good.
Moving.
The heavy can finish off this sectoid. I was not expecting a 95%. That's rather surprising to me. But we've got backup. And it's going to be a nice kill for the rookie. I think we just got a kill on each of the rookies, so we're not going to have to worry too much about them after this. Beautiful. I could not have asked for a better pod activation. I'm really quite happy with that. Okay. So, Sniper doesn't really want to be there. Let's get her into,
On my way.
I guess, this position. It's not great, but it'll work. Scout, you now have access to that milk canister, so let's pick that off.
In hand, Commander.
And we heard a second one off in this direction, so we still want to kind of keep a move on and get going on that. I'm going to get the heavy inside the building. and this building's looking pretty clear at this point. There's still some possibility of aliens in this section, but I just highly doubt that we're going to see anything on that particular note. Okay, which side do we want to clear? The sniper's only going to be able to shoot to one side or the other, so I think it's probably best to go for this side. There we go.
Moving to position.
Get everybody else up. We're going to basically double move most of our folks up next to the scout so that everyone's together in a nice grouped ball. But this mission's going to go pretty smoothly, I think. Okay. Steady. Overwatch. And Overwatch. Oh, we made a slight mistake here. We planted a guy on this side. That means that this guy in Overwatch can't actually lean out and fire. Just a common error that you don't want to make. Okay, sectoids are, again, not in a very good spot. They're kind of stuck out there. Ah, scout make an effort.
Missed the target.
So they're all going to be in this, like, just section here. Now, we do need to deal with them, and they are kind of in a really nice position in general. Oh man, look at this helicopter. This is like the coolest piece of cover that never gets used ever. Look at this, it's all hard cover and just this really amazing... this thing is so neat! I've never seen it before, and I'm probably still not going to use it, but man, it's cool. Okay, so... what I'd really like to do is get my scout probably right around here. That seems a little aggressive. That's not going to work. That would work, but it's not great. We have half cover available here. So we've got a basic issue here, which is that these sectoids can easily get flanks on this hard cover. And obviously we don't want to approach their hard cover very much. I think the first thing to do is get my sniper up to here. Just keep her steadied. This meld container's looking like a pretty good jumping off point. I might even take a look over here. Sectoids are not having a good day today. Their spawns are all awful. Okay, so with that in mind, we're just gonna push up. We're gonna go ahead and throw our grenades, maybe. Do we want to throw that HE grenade? I think we kind of do. It'll deal the damage that we need. Well, I don't know. Let's see here. Do we have somebody with an AP grenade who's close by? No, nobody has AP grenades. Everybody has HEs.
Moving out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take this truck. Since the sectoids aren't going to be able to move up to it from where they're currently at. We'll flashbang all three of them. And that'll keep them pinned down in that awful position. And then basically, if everybody moves up, we should be able to really aggressively deal with them, while still moving forward for the meld. I'm a little worried about triggering extra guys here, but there's not much that can be done about it. Heavy needs to move into here, and we'll keep him up on Overwatch, I think, since he's not going to be able to quite stay with the team. This guy, just Overwatch. Let's see where those sectoids try to run to, if they try to run at all. Oh, there's a fourth. Whoops. Okay, so that fourth one's kind of a problem, but he's not. He's doing the mine merge, so we're okay. A mine fray is a very good idea on these sectoids' part, since they don't really have any other options. This guy's just running back. Looks like they're refusing to use that car cutter. I'm not sure why that is. Still, we have a clear shot on that one. It's a 74%. I think there's no reason not to take it. And that's one less. Next one, pretty straightforward. Same basic deal. Get in. There's the two who are not the navigators. I'd really like to shoot them, but I don't know if I have an option on them. Maybe not this turn. I could get really, really aggressive. Let's take the sniper shot since we've got it. If we can get that, it's going to be easier to clean up the rest of them. Okay. Pretty straightforward, really. And, oh, looks like the heavy's got one too. Again, that seems pretty unlikely. I think we'd rather just run forward.
Let's do this.
We take this position. That should give us a pretty good shot. Yeah, that guy right there. Okay. I don't trust that last one not to run up and flank me, which is kind of an issue. So I think the best way to keep him in check would be to go ahead and shoot this guy from here. Awesome. And then that will give me the option of killing this one. Pretty please? Excellent. Well, this is about to be the easiest heavy mission ever. Okay. So we really like that meld, which means we gotta move up on it. How far up do we need to move on it? A little further than that. Just push in. Get everybody else up behind these trucks, these amazing full cover trucks.
Aye, aye, Commander. Ready to rock.
Our gunner can cover here.
Heading out.
Our scout needs to be a little further forward. And yeah, just try and get everyone up next to each other. This is not our reload turn since we're looking for that meld canister, but everything else is going swimmingly. Sniper, get a good position. There are not a lot of good sniper avenues here, but this seems like a pretty good one, especially if we can get him over to here. That'll give him access to pretty much all of the map. Okay. Overwatch there, and we're ready to rock.
What was that?
We've also got sectoids moving off to the right, I think. Nope, my headphones are reversed, they're off to the left. I wear Greedos headphones, and they've got really nice sound quality, but it's very hard to tell when you're wearing the left side or the right side. Sometimes you'll hear sectoids in directions that don't exist. Okay. So, can we get that sniper? The answer is kinda. I think what we want to do is actually get this guy to here.
I'm on it, Commander.
See if we can get the sniper around to the back of the truck, because that's going to be a really nice shot angle.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Beautiful. We're not quite ready to trigger yet, so we'll just get the heavy over here. Get everybody else into position. Forward. Load. And get you over here. That's not quite the move I wanted you to make, but that's okay. Reload. overwatch you, since you're going to be pretty far forward. Overwatch you, and you need to stagger the reloads a little bit so that we always have somebody overwatching. It's good to pick off aliens early. Yeah, this has been a really, really good, just early impossible seed. Okay. So now we've got these hardcover positions. There's like 3 or 4 of them. They're all great. Oh man, look at this. This is gorgeous. You can see over this half cover here. I think you can anyways. Yeah, you should be able to. And then there's also just 2 points of hardcover. This is like one of the best,
Moving out.
Hey, this is just a straight line of hardcover. And then there's another straight line of hardcover with plenty of good options for leaning out. That's amazing. We're in very good shape. Okay, so get the heavy... can't quite do it this turn. So let's just get him 1 space forward. Keep the lean out spot available for Zajac. And I think the sniper's good where she's at. For the moment, anyways.
I'm on it.
Got it covered. Roger that. Quiet. Did you hear something?
That was an interesting noise. And there's our group of sectoids. They've seen us. They're running. Looks like the commander's gonna get away. I only counted 3. However, that guy did not run into cover. What is wrong with this sectoids today? Do I have 2 flanks? I think I have 2 flanks. Sectoids are behaving very strangely. This is actually one of the... I mean, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. Okay, so we were a little too spread out, it looks like. Let's see if we can get further forward.
I'm on it, Commander.
Okay. You can only see that one, but that's the one I want to shoot, so let's try to take him out. Oh, that marksman rifle damage, not quite enough. You would expect a 5 damage assault rifle to kill that thing, but nope.
On the move.
Alright, let's see what we can get over here. Nothing. Okay. So that's going to make this a little trickier. We got too many people too far back. And we need to move them forward.
Już tam jestem. Running.
On the move.
So really that sectoid fighting retreat was not too bad at all. And rather sadly, I can't get a smoke grenade up to protect this scout and deal with these guys in the same turn. So instead we're going to get the smoke grenade up. We can leave those guys for another turn. Set up the overwatch, so they don't come closer. Case in point. Ugh, alright. Well, not every rule is going to be in your favor. Side panic was a good idea. Fortunately, we didn't have a scatter. And we got a mine fight too. That's sad. A little extra damage is always, you know. Fortunately, it is armor damage, so I think that might still count for the perfect mission. Pretty sure we can still get the perfect. Okay, so we've got lots of people who are currently within range. I think what we want to do is get... Can we end them this turn guaranteed? Because if we can, and we can, Yes, I think we can. We just have to get this guy up to here. Okay, so we're gonna do something goofy.
Headed there now.
First off, run the Overwatch. If this totally screws up, then we'll probably lose one Sectoid, but I think we're pretty good. We're in very good shape. Okay.
Heading
Push up
there
to
now.
here. And make sure that we got that Sectoid out of the way.
Kill confirmed.
Push up to here. We want to destroy this Sectoid completely. But if we can get a little bit of that guy's cover as well, that's probably not going to be a bad deal. Okay, now that's going to do the one damage we need. Or not. Ooh, that actually puts us in a spot of trouble. We got too many people who are just out there. Done bit off more than we can chew. I can't see that last Sectoid.
Copy that.
There he is. 38% chance to hit. I'm not wild about those odds. This is a 74%. We miss it. So first we take this crappy shot. And not getting it is really not too big a deal. Next up, I'm gambling my scout's life on this one, so I might need to just back up. But I've already put myself in a pretty bad position, just trying to get the flank and kill on all of these guys. So I'm not 100% opposed to just taking this shot now. There we go.
Bye-bye.
The backup plan was to suppress the big alien instead of the small alien. But we're going to suppress the small alien.
X-ray lockdown.
And he's still only got vision on one guy in hard cover.
Incoming
And also
over here.
heavy, of course. So we're good to go.
Heading to that location.
There's our flank. Let's get that scout on a level. Or not.
Damn it.
You can't hit them all. Let's see here. So that HE grenade needs to be our final plan in case something else goes wrong. We can't lean out into that tile, so we're just going to have to go for the close-up shot. Okay, and that's another one cleared. Should be at least one more pod out there, since this is a heavy mission.
Roger that. Reloaded.
Moving. It's killing time. Copy that.
However, we've got all the melds, so we can go as slow or as fast as we want.
Ready to rock. Сделаем. К бою готов.
And we've cleared all of our flanks. Just going around in circles now. Alright, so this approach is kind of rotten. Might actually want to back into the tanks here and go that way. Where's my sniper at? That's not my sniper, that's my sniper. Okay,
Position confirmed.
let's take this. Get steady though.
Heading there now.
And I think we're just ready to go ahead and start pushing forward just a little bit.
Heading to that location. Got it covered.
Well, it was a mistake to overwatch this early. But
Roger. I've got my
we are
eyes
pretty
on
much ready to go now.
it. Da, commandeer.
Just the one pod of sectoids left, I'm guessing, and maybe two. They're on the right side. Heavy wants to be here,
Rolling. Look sharp. Enemies
and we can
rolling
see
up.
them. Sniper's got a shot. It's a 65%. No reason not to take that. Beautiful. Everybody else does not have a shot.
Heading there now.
But we don't really need them to just yet.
Выдвигаюсь.
We're going to take these tanks on. Get everyone behind them. Get them ready to flank on the next turn.
All an ass.
I can run suppression with this heavy, but I think what I'd rather do is hunker him down or move him back,
Moving out.
seeing as the aliens can't see any of my guys right now.
Moving over.
So I can overwatch there, see if they come forward. Looks like the wounded guy is doing the mine merge. Not that bright. Oh, dang, yeah. I thought that might be a risk, but I did not plan accordingly for it. Okay. Well, that's pretty solidly lucky, but yeah, I definitely just overestimated that sectoid there. Or underestimated. Okay.
Will do.
So what have we got now? Actually made some pretty poor life choices. We still can't see the rest of these sectoids. Then I'll launch this HE grenade over, see if I can destroy that cover or light the tank on fire. At the very least, grandly irritate the sectoids.
Разберемся.
We get some hard cover here. Oh, and there's our flank. Pity we can't use it. Since we know there's two sectoids here, we're going to flashbang both of them. And with those two flashbanged, I feel pretty comfortable about taking a pot shot at this guy in the back. See if we can take him down. Excellent.
Dead and gone.
Two sectoids left, both on the back of the tank. First one's shot is wide. And now we have a pretty obvious flank. Can we get two flanks? Yes. So make sure we're on the right shot. What are the odds that that guy can see here? I think they're good enough that I want to take this shot first. Okay. Oh, here we go. Alright. Lucky us. Let's get this guy. Cool. We are unfortunately out of grenades for the turn. Which makes getting that last guy somewhat problematic. We've actually put ourselves into a pretty bad situation. What are the odds that the Sectoid's just going to take that shot? I can't get eyes on him. Oh, but I can get eyes on this section here. So the best thing I can do is get these hard cover positions.
Overwatch high.
And Sectoid learns some valuable lessons. Okay. Okay. Is that the mission? Oh no, that might not be the mission.
Mission
Okay.
accomplished.
I was definitely counting on that to be the last Sectoid in the pack, so if it hadn't been, my sniper might have been in some trouble. Oh wow, spec back on active duty already. All 3 PFCs promoted. Tola Olajid gets 4 kills and is probably going to be our primary choice for attempted corporal. Okay. Well, let's see here. Tactical weapons, tactical. Take a look at those promotions in a little bit. 14 sectoid corpses, 14 weapon fragments, and 8 meld is great. 100 is great.
Commander.
The wounded soldier is definitely not what we like to see, but all in all, that mission went pretty well. Okay, so we fast forwarded 11 hours, we finished an excavation. This power generator's up in 5 days. And that'll be pretty straightforward, that's something we want. I think it's time to order our 5th interceptor. Make sure that we have people ready for when the small UFOs start trickling in. New request from Germany. Oh, that's probably just request for engineers. Rotation generator. And with that done, we need to start looking at how we want to build the rest of our base out. Like an access lift, it's 100 cash, but it's not a high priority at this point, since we have several open spaces, mainly this one and this one to build in. So I think we'll probably just leave our meld containers alone. I'm gonna go ahead and save up, be nice about it. And Argentina has withdrawn. Huh. That's an interesting place for an infiltration. Well, that probably couldn't be any more ideal. It's a little strange that the aliens are right on top of me, but we're gonna have a South American war here. Civil war, civil war. Alright. Gosh. Yeah, in terms of how this game has gone so far, like just the decisions the aliens have made, everything has just gone really surprisingly well in my favor, which makes me a little nervous. Okay,
Commander,
and there's an
we're
abduction.
tracking several reported abductions via the hologlobe. I've
This
got
is
the
another
coordinates
heavy.
locked in.
So bringing along people would be a good idea. Looks like pretty much everyone that I'd want is available, so go ahead and set that up, and that'll be our next mission. Scout Gunner Assault. We're going to want to bring the Scout and Gunner along again. And then we'll figure out what we want from the rest of them as we go. Okay, so I will see you guys then.